What up, what up, what up? So, Stinky's going to have his State of the Union address. State of the Union. People ask, hey, you going to watch that? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'll mock it tomorrow, but I'm not going to watch it today. Nope, I'm not going to watch it tonight. Nope. Why? Think about it. Why do you want to subject yourself to a functionally illiterate imbecile, right? That is a full-on serial child molester, right? Because that's what he is. That's what he is. I have a clip that's going to, prove it. Because it gets proved, it's proven over and over and over again. Why do you want to sit there and be lied to by a serial child pedo? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because that's all he's going to do is lie. Because think about it. What has he done? Nothing. Nothing to improve this. Nothing. First of all, let me tell you, the biggest myth was that there was some kind of immigration problem, that we are being overrun by migrants. That's bullshit. That was never a theying. The proof's in the pudding. Look, he went to Minnesota to try to get all these Somali fraudsters. Nothing. They're running around here. They've been running around for a year now, trying to find all these gangs of criminals and people from insane asylums. They don't exist. Now they're having to break the law, right, to detain people simply because they're brown and they have an accent, or they're black and they have an accent. That's right. Yeah. You know, if you notice, right, what have they done? They've gone into schools. They've gone on roofs and confiscate and detained roofers. They've detained gardeners. Is that the worst of the worst? No. This problem never existed, for your information. And yet they've demonized these people that come here, that the overwhelming majority come here to work and pay taxes. And what they need to do is be processed so that way we can charge them taxes, you know? It's taxation without representation. But no, they needed somebody to scapegoat. They needed somebody to point at and say, yeah, you see, that dude right there is is the cause of all your problems. And it's not true. What have they resolved with that nonsense? You know? And it turns out that now people are starting to find out, right, what we know down here in Palm Beach. That this guy is, because you never were, you are a serial child molester. This guy would abuse little girls, okay? That's what he did. He can't now, you know, because his junk doesn't work anymore. That functionally illiterate, disgusting, vile, pathetic idiot. Yeah. Chester the molester. You want to see Chester the molester? Yeah. Just take a picture of him. That's right. They're talking about all these horrors that Epstein, all these that perpetrated, right? Who was his best friend? Who was his absolute bestie? Stinky, yeah, and in this clip that I have, you're gonna see, you know, that you have Bondi, Patel, and these people. I don't know. I mean, look. I don't know how they can go on with this charade. Are they that far gone? Right? How could they go on with this charade and hide the fact, right? Hide the fact that a serial child molester is the president of the United States. That's a fact. And anybody that sits up there in the State of the Union and claps for him and this and that, you're a facilitator. You're a facilitator of the worst behavior that humans display. That's right. You are a part of it now. If you sit there and cheer for this pervert, because that's what he is. He's a fucking pervert. Okay. Hey, no ifs, ands, or buts. You know, you want a Wikipedia pervert? There's a picture of him. You want a Wikipedia child molester? There's a picture of him. Because that's what he is. And prove me wrong. You can't. Bro, this guy was like this with Epstein, okay? Yeah. So they're asking me if I'm going to watch that? No. I'll get... Yeah, Griffey's pissed too, But yeah, no. I will not watch that garbage, right? But will I be back tomorrow to make fun of it? Absolutely, 100%. Anyway, I gotta go. Griffey doesn't do well with fire trucks, as you notice. But yeah, no. So no. My answer to whether I watch that is no, because I'm not gonna have what little intelligence I have left insulted by a functionally illiterate child molester, because that's what that guy is. Okay, all right. And anybody that would actually sit there and try to listen to this about the quote unquote wins, because there are none. There are no wins. We've had no wins. The economy's in the shitter. All he's done with his fucking immigration crackdown was manage to harass and kill Americans. That's right. Yep. And think about it. The people that he hired to work for him, Patel, Noam, Bondi, all these people, their sole purpose in life right now is to guard the secrets of him being a pedo with little girls. That's right. So anyway, this clip, it proves it again. They are hiding this from the American people, and they're talking about transparency. No, there's nothing transparent about what these people are doing. Elect a criminal, expect criminality, and this is what you have. Remember. Peace, resist. It's working. Roll it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff.
What? You got busted.
With that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the...
One of the things I can tell you is that based on documents that are available in the Epstein files, I'm just going to hold up to you what allowed us to get to this reporting. This is an index of witness statements from people who were not expected to testify at Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, but whose statements were nonetheless produced to her defense counsel in the run-up to her 2021 trial. We also have a smaller one with respect to those who were expected to testify. And based on those indices, as well as documents available in the file, MS Now can report that there is at least one witness for whom 3 interviews with the FBI in rapid succession in 2019 are missing. You might say, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, the big deal about that is that we can also confirm that that woman is the same person who in a 2025 FBI presentation is identified to have accused Donald Trump of a sexual assault when she was between 13 and 15 years old. We know that based on a human source who has confirmed to us that this woman is one and the same. So I want to make this very clear. There is a woman who, according to the FBI and documents compiled last summer, accused Donald Trump of sexually assaulting and physically abusing her. One of the things in her accusation is that in addition to forcing her to perform oral sex, he also hit her in that same episode. We have now connected that woman to someone who was interviewed by the FBI 4 times in 2019. Of those 4 interview memoranda, which are listed in this index that I'm holding up right here, only one of them can be seen. And in that interview, the accusations against Trump are not present. At the most, she says that she had met Trump on one occasion without detailing it. And when asked how she understood that Epstein was a person who committed abuse against her, she showed FBI agents a picture that she had been sent by a friend. It was a picture that she was reluctant to share with FBI agents because there was somebody else in the photograph. It turned out to be, according to this interview memo, a well-known photograph of Epstein and Trump together. She said that she was reluctant to show them the full image, lest she incriminate someone that she feared could retaliate against her. That's all that we know from what's publicly available in the files, but we know that this woman had other accusations accusations against Trump. Where they are listed or where they've been memorialized, we're not sure, but we can tell you and our viewers that there are 3 other interview memoranda taken by the FBI that are not present anywhere in the Epstein files. And this is a problem that we expect may have recurred with dozens of other witnesses whose files may not have been produced in their totality. Again, this index gives a unique numerical identifier to more than 500 witnesses and lists in numerical order the kinds of documents from which their statements were taken. Everything from FBI interview memos to Palm Beach police incident reports to handwritten notes and the like. Going through those methodically, you can see as a layperson or as a reporter what has been produced in the files and what hasn't. And it's our expectation and understanding that there are many other instances in which witnesses, many of whom were alleged victims, don't have all of their statements produced. If these were important enough to give to Ghislaine Maxwell's defense, it's unclear to me what the rationale is for withholding them from the American public, particularly given the text of the Epstein Files Transparency Act.
What's the rationale given by the DOJ? Have they given any reason for withholding these documents?
MS Now has not yet obtained a statement from the Department of Justice.
Yeah, because it's true. It's all about that vile, pathetic sack of stupid that is a serial child abuser.
However, NPR, which was the first to report on this morning, has obtained a statement from the White House in which they haven't defended the lack of transparency with respect to these 3 interview memoranda. Instead, they have fallen back on their defense that Donald Trump is the most transparent president in history, that he has fully committed to producing documents in compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act. That's a defense that rings hollow to many of us who have been through these files and have seen not only over-redaction with respect to some suspects, over-redaction with respect to some individuals, under-redaction with respect to survivors, and now inexplicable withholding of documents.
Sick 'em, Lawrence.
Self-confessed sexual assaulter campaigned for an accused child molester.
Get out and vote for Roy Moore.
See what I mean? How can you take this clown seriously?